orchestra, or the organisation EMFEB, has a whole variety of composers working with us, and we make a real point of trying to feature new music in every event we do, and also trying to get music to new venues. That's one of the two sort of main things we try and do, really. We're a little bit against the kind of classical thing where you go to a huge hall and look at an orchestra miles away, when a lot of music was originally quite close and personal. So that's what we try and do a little bit. And one of the composers we have tonight is someone who actually I taught last year, so he's right at the sort of beginning of his career, which is really exciting. I taught him in the school in Enfield, and he was sort of interested in composing, but not so. He was very talented, and I kind of pushed loads of music his way, and he's really got into it so much that he's now got a place at the Guildhall School of Music to study composition, which is very good coming from a kind of sort of state North London school. So I'm really proud of him. I think he's great. It's a good state London. You know what the music world's like. So and he's teamed up with another poet who I think is part of the society here. As some of the poets are, some aren't. And he's done 2 settings of 2 very different poems. And I'd like to introduce Ollie. Do you want to say a couple of words about your piece?
Yeah.
Can you get up here in the next few minutes?
Quite busy. Hello. I'll try to keep my words to a minimum. I'm not really the poet. Obviously. So I've written 2 pieces of music to 2 wonderful poems by the poet here called Migration and Rendezvous Under a Saigon Sunset. And they're basically Rendezvous on Saigon Sunset is just generally a beautiful poem about generally things. It's quite a deep poem, it seems to me anyway. I mean, obviously I'll let the poet explain a bit more. However, the other poem is quite structure-based, which is obviously a big theme in music as well. So I've kind of gone along with that. Hopefully the poet can explain that a bit more, because I'm not very good at speaking. So I'll hand over to the poet now, so thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Fatan. This first poem was a poem that was commissioned by the Evangelical Alliance for the Temple Address in the Royal Society, and the Archbishop of York, John Sentami, was the speaker there, but I couldn't go because my wife was very pregnant. Okay, it's sort of self-explanatory because you'll sort of pick it up after a while. Migration, a Cleave poem. Swifts and swallows leave fruit, riddled with holes, dripping fermented juice, sweet. Under blushing trees, those that can't leave expect a cold winter, with its few hopes and promises. While I grasp for memories like remnants of home, my baby cools in my arms. The milk from her mouth sticks under my fingernails. The guards with eloquent guns demand my coat. They smirk at my battered sweet box. Inside are smuggled postcards of thatched houses of English orchards. Swifts and swallows leave while I grasp for memories like fruit, remnants of home, riddled with holes. My baby cools in my arms, dripping fermented juice, the milk from her mouth, sweet, sticks under my fingernails. Under blushing trees, the guards with eloquent guns demand my coat. Those that can't leave expect a cold winter. They smirk at my battered sweet box with its few hopes. Inside are smuggled postcards, thatched houses and promises of English orchards.